"You're embarrassing me in front of my boss." She hissed it through clenched teeth, nails digging into my forearm like a warning label. Her perfume was sharp, defensive. I nodded. I always nodded. The retreat lodge was wrapped in fake warmth, firelight, polite laughter, branded fleece jackets, people who smiled with their teeth and calculated with their eyes. I stepped away from her grip and walked toward the parking lot, gravel crunching under my shoes like bones. I didn't look back. I felt it instead. The pause, the sudden silence behind me. Footsteps that didn't belong to her. "Sir?" I stopped beside my car, didn't turn around. "Sir?" "I just recognized you from the board meeting last month." His voice cracked on recognized. I turned then, slowly. He was pale, older than me, senior enough to know when fear was appropriate. "Does she know who you—" I raised a finger. He swallowed the rest of the sentence. Inside my chest, something settled. Not anger, not hurt, confirmation. The retreat lights flickered behind him, throwing long shadows across his face. Somewhere inside, my wife laughed too loudly at something her boss said. I unlocked my car. The door clicked open. The sound felt like a verdict. I didn't drive away right then. I sat, hands on the wheel, breathing evenly. Embarrassing me. That word had been rehearsed, polished, delivered too cleanly to be spontaneous. She hadn't always been like this, or maybe she had, just better at hiding it. Late nights that came with explanations too detailed to be honest, a phone that never left her hand even in sleep, a new laugh, lighter, practiced, and her boss. He'd shaken my hand once, firm grip, direct eye contact, the kind of man who assumes the room bends toward him. I'd noticed the way she leaned when he spoke, the way her voice softened around his name. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself many things. The retreat invitation had been the first real fracture. Spouses welcome, but when I arrived, her smile stiffened. She introduced me without context, no last name, no history, just me. When I spoke to someone about strategy, she interrupted. When I laughed, she flinched. When her boss joined us, she stepped between us like a barrier. Embarrassing. I watched her through the lodge window now. Her hand brushed his arm, not accidentally, never accidentally. Something in me went cold, not broken, aligned. I didn't confront her. I don't do scenes. I went home and became smaller, quieter, predictable, the version of me she'd stopped seeing anyway. At night I listened, to the cadence of her lies, to the pauses where truth used to live. I checked nothing directly. That's amateur work. I watched patterns instead. Phone bills routed through a private account, a second email synced to a device she claimed she'd lost, calendar blocks labeled off-site that coincided perfectly with his travel schedule. I pulled access logs from the company network, not illegally, just broadly. Privilege has its uses. Hotel receipts, expense reports, a weekend conference that never existed. Still, I waited. I ordered a DNA test for our son, not because I believed he wasn't mine, because doubt had been planted, and doubt demands answers. The results came back clean. Relief passed through me like a ghost, brief, unwelcome. This wasn't about fatherhood. It was about erasure. I sat across from her at dinner, nodding while she talked about her boss's vision, his leadership, his generosity. Each word stacked carefully like bricks, sealing a wall I'd already been pushed behind. I smiled. I planned. The proof arrived on a Tuesday. Not dramatic, not explosive. A folder. Digital. Time-stamped. Corroborated. Photos from a hotel corridor. Messages that forgot to delete themselves. A voice memo, hers, left running too long. I invited her to sit with me that night, calmly, gently. I slid the tablet across the table. "Explain this," I said. She didn't scream, didn't deny. She went very still. Her eyes flicked once, calculating exits. "How long?" I asked. She laughed, a short, broken sound. "You wouldn't understand." I nodded. I know. Her shoulders sagged then, not from guilt, from exposure. She reached for me. I leaned back. The board meeting was scheduled for Friday, mandatory attendance. I arrived early, sat at the head of the table. When her boss walked in, his smile died mid-step. Recognition hit him like ice water. I let him sit, let him sweat. When the agenda reached executive conduct, I cleared my throat. Minimal words, maximum precision. I presented the evidence, not as accusation, as data. Compliance failures, ethics violations, conflict of interest. No names at first. Then I looked directly at him. My wife wasn't there. She didn't know yet. He tried to speak. I raised my hand. The room obeyed. By the end, his career was a closed chapter. When I got home, she was waiting. She knew. She cried. She begged. She blamed pressure, loneliness, me. I listened. Then I handed her the divorce papers, prepared, filed, irreversible. I wasn't embarrassed, I said quietly. I was watching. I moved out 2 days later. No arguments, no scenes. She tried to call. I blocked the number. At night, I slept easily. That surprised me. Power doesn't shout, it exits. Sometimes I think about the retreat, the way she pushed me away like I was the problem. I smile at the memory now, not because I won, because I remembered who I was. The man she thought she could humiliate was the man who erased her future without raising his voice.